Um, I'm William Dill-Russell, I'm 20 years old and I was born in Birmingham. The old story of not being accepted where you're from and for a better life, really. A better life in the sense of being able to walk down the road and not have things thrown at you, or be able to make friends who are interested in the same thing as you, and also, as I study fashion, so you can culture yourself more. There is no real culture in Birmingham as such, and I grew up in a very small village outside of Birmingham where it was just fields, which is very beautiful. However, there's a limit to that, really. I don't really ever think, when people look at me, to be honest, I'm very oblivious to it now. I've had it since I was probably 13 or 12 years old, so I'm so oblivious to it I don't even really notice, unless it comes sort of within 2 inches of my face, I don't really notice at all, to be honest. I'm surrounded by people who don't really give a shit, and if they don't really care, then why? I don't feel like it never really enters my world, another thought process, unless I'm at work and I have to act a very different way, so it never really comes into my world where I have differing points of view as to what I feel, what I think and feel about not just myself, but people who dress or act or are the same way as I am, or have the same outlooks on life and people, I guess. My gender identity is that I am a gay man, whatever I'm wearing, wherever I am. If someone asks me what my drag name is, I don't understand that. I have a penis, I have a partner who's a man, but with respects to outlook on life and everyone else, I definitely identify myself as a queer person because my ideologies and my outlook on life and other people is that everyone is on the queer spectrum. I just identify myself as this, and I'm not saying that that's a set, it's not something that's ever set in concrete. It could completely change, but currently, gay man, definitely. I think queer, to me, and the queer spectrum predominantly relates to people, and that people who are accepting that anybody and everybody can be any form of sexuality or gender, and that it's not that you're you're only one thing, and that you kind of have to subscribe to that. It's that you can be anything, and that you're always accepting of that. I think I have difficulties with that are, for me, gay, just using as an example, gay men who are not so much queer because they have a very set and regimented idea of what the LGBTQ community is, and that doesn't make sense to me as a person, because I think that to be a queer person you are accepting and will always fight for the people, whatever it is, and that you don't subscribe to a regimented stereotype, whether it be a gay man or a lesbian or trans or whatever it is. It's a whole spectrum, and it's almost like a bit of everything. It's very difficult to, in one sort of phrase or sentence, to sum it up, because it is something that is a complete blurred, and I don't think it needs to make sense, because it's what you interpret it as, and it's what you, if you identify yourself as whatever, and you just, I think for me it's just always, queer people are accepting and are supportive of other people which you don't always get. I know for myself, you don't always get from the gay community.